Scary stories from Reddit. Real encounters that will haunt you. Story by Sarah Lemire. Get ready to cover your head with the blankets. We've put together a selection of incredibly true and terrifying ghost stories for your consideration in observance of Halloween and all things eerie. The persons who reported these encounters are positive that they have encountered something they simply cannot explain when it comes to paranormal activity, regardless of their belief system. After reading these true accounts of regular people who say they saw amazing things, you might be persuaded to reconsider your skepticism. Derek Hayes, creator of Monsters Among Us, a podcast where callers anonymously relate their personal stories, was interviewed by Today.com to assist in curating our collection. Hayes said the show gets hundreds of applications from all over the world, and sometimes a handful of them make it. Occasionally, someone will call in with one of those intimate tales. For me, it hits home because of that personal connection, Hayes tells us, and some of those just scare me. In addition to a number of other stories we believe you'll find intriguing, such as haunted houses, jails, and unexplainable encounters with ghosts and other phenomena, we've included some of Hayes' most memorable calls among our ghost stories. It is entirely up to you whether or not you believe in ghosts, but after reading these eerie tales, you might start to think so. Grandmas in the graveyard. Dayton, Ohio resident Jeff was driving with his 3-year-old son, Miles, in the back seat when they came upon a simple cemetery that was only embellished with little plaques and flowers. On the podcast Monsters Among Us, Jeff explains, it essentially looks like a giant garden. Jeff claims that when they were driving by, his toddler, who had been singing joyfully, suddenly stopped, pointed to the cemetery and yelled, "Look at all those people!" Jeff looked around, but he saw no one. He asked Miles what he was talking about, perplexed. His son answered, "All those people over there. There are quite a few grandmothers." According to Jeff, when he asked his son what everyone was doing, he felt shivers down his spine. Miles remarked, "They're all standing there, staring at the grass." The chat left Jeff feeling very uneasy, so he hurried home. He says his small kid turned to Jeff while watching TV later that day and stated, "You know, they weren't alive." Jeff questioned what Miles meant, assuming he was talking about the cartoon. His son answered, "Those people we saw, they were all paused." Jeff comments, "I don't know if my kid has a sixth sense, or if his imagination is just crazy." The Stanley Hotel's ghost. For almost a century, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, has served as a luxurious retreat for affluent individuals seeking seclusion in the mountains. However, attendance decreased over time, and the opulent hotel was in poor condition by the 1970s. The renowned author Stephen King slept there for the night around that period and was motivated to create The Shining. The Stanley was able to regain its former splendor thanks to the book and popular movie. Visitors now flock to the hotel that served as the backdrop for one of the most terrifying horror films ever made. It is not surprising that many guests claim unusual experiences given its history. Henry Yao, a native of Texas, made a last-minute travel reservation in April 2016 to check it out after learning of the eerie claims. Yu arrived, ate dinner, and then went to snap pictures around the Stanley. He paused at the stairway, waited for everyone to get out of the way, and then snapped a picture without giving it any thought. But later that evening, Yao became quite sick. He tells Today.com, "I had the chills, I felt sick, and I thought something's wrong." You rejected his companion's suggestion that he visit the emergency room. You started looking through his pictures on the way home after he came across what he described as a really strange image of a person standing on the stairs. However, nobody had been present. The world took note when he shared the image on Instagram the next day, half joking that he had caught a ghost. Yao's ghost picture put him in the spotlight almost immediately, drawing interest from international media outlets and paranormal specialists who wanted to study the image. Some experts claim that there are 2 ghosts, while others claim that the ghost was attempting to manifest and drain my energy, which is why I became ill, he stated. There are a lot of theories regarding this. What is Yao's opinion? He laughs and continues, "I have no idea." The hauntings of Whaley House. Explain the paranormal happenings at Whaley House in San Diego, which has been labeled America's most haunted house if ghosts don't exist. Victor Santana, operations manager of the Whaley House and Museum, says, "I have undoubtedly been there when people say they hear things, smell things, and in some cases, even see apparitions." The ancient home, which is well known for its unexplained happenings, was constructed in 1856 by Thomas Whaley, a former New Yorker who moved to the West during the gold rush. Given that the site was formerly the location of the San Diego gallows, where innumerable offenders were put to death, it's very likely that Whaley got a great deal on it. One prisoner stood out, according to Santana, who was unsure of the precise number of fatalities at the scene. According to the manager of Whaley House, Yankee Jim Robinson was executed on site after he stole a boat. According to legend, Thomas Whaley saw that execution take place. Whaley experienced strange incidents in his home in the years that followed, citing heavy footfall coming up and down the stairs while working in his office, according to Santana. Whether or not this is real, he adds, if you will, he would occasionally hear a man grunting, and he would attribute that to Yankee Jim Robinson. Whaley is supposed to have become a ghost at the property after passing away from natural causes, and some guests have even reported smelling the cigars he used to smoke. Santana adds, or you might even see him looking down on you at the top of the staircase. The inexplicable lavender aroma in the air, which is ascribed to Whaley's wife's perfume, and potential pet spirits are among the other unexplained phenomena at the Whaley House. In certain situations, you may feel something licking or rubbing on your leg. They think that's the family dog, Santana adds. Has Santana seen an apparition there before? He attests, I have never seen a ghost. He has, however, had a few strange events, such as seeing a doll that seemed to move by itself once and hearing a woman's voice sobbing late at night. Santana also attended a paranormal investigation at the location when an extremely terrifying recording was made by an investigator's electronic voice recorder, EVP. Asking inquiries like, is there anyone in the room with us? Is done while a recorder is set up. What is your name? Are you happy that we are here with you tonight? Was one of the queries, Santana said. And you hear someone say no when you play back the recording. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think.